Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to Babble with Bronies. I am your host. My name is Everlasting Joy, along with my co-workers Twilight is Magic and Mr. Ben. Should we get the show started here? In case you're all wondering what has happened, my computer thinks it's funny to uninstall software for me, or at least the updates are so shitty that that's what happened. So, had to re-download the webs. Of course, it has to uninstall something important. Anyway, let's get started. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about here, so let's get started. First and foremost, and I hope he is watching this, we here at Babble with Bronies would like to wish Brony State's own Rec a happy birthday. His birthday was the 19th of July. That's 2 days ago, so congratulations, Rec. And I hope, like I said, I hope you're here to see that. Let's see. What else? Okay, I've got poop. Oh well. Gotta bring something up here, folks, because I have something I wish to do as well. Yeah, well. Desert, you there?
Yes, I am here, yes.
Excellent.
Good to hear you. I just added Feyre to the call as well, if that's okay.
Yep, by all means. Call keeps failing her.
Okay, maybe you could try to reach her. I think she should be in your list as well.
She is.
Okay, maybe she's just... Oh, there she is.
Hi there.
Hello.
Okay,
So-
here we are again.
Yeah, only this one's not going to be a 2-hour interview, so it's going to be a lot easier on your guys' behalf.
No, it was okay last time. We had a lot of fun, definitely.
Thank you. Anyway, I just wanted to bring you guys on because, well, what's going on next week?
I don't know, Faye, you have any idea? I think there's some cons... I don't know, with ponies, something like that. No, of course. Galacon is starting in a good week from now. I think it's the week after next week because I think it's August the 3rd, but I think it's okay. It's.
I keep
13
thinking this
days
is
away.
the last week in July, but hey, I'm fine with bringing on another ad and you guys saying what you need to.
That's okay. I think we. Oh yeah, of course. We appreciate it.
Just some quick questions. Are tickets still available?
No, tickets. We're sold out. We're totally sold out. We're having some like urgent calls for people asking about their, I don't know, mother joining them or whatever. And we're just doing this behind the curtains. But this is definitely not open for any more direct sales. Because we just only have a limited amount of space in our venue, and we can't really make more and sell any more tickets than we already have.
Yeah, it would be too crammed.
For anyone who's going to Galacon, and even for those of us who might not, is there anything you could say to us that would get those folks excited, or maybe even get those of us who aren't going excited just for the heck of it?
Andrea Lipman?
Andrea Lipton, of course. Of course, we're gonna have an awesome row of guests. We're gonna have an awesome venue. It's gonna be the Central European Brony Convention in the summer. I mean, it's basically there's only Buck and Galacon and Brony days, and Buck, which is certainly a very good convention. But Galacon, we're sitting in the middle of Europe. We're having visitors from 28 different countries joining us, and it's going to be, I think, the place to be in this week. It's going to be really awesome.
Any are there any last things you can say before we move on? I know this is really abrupt, but again, this isn't an interview.
No, that's okay. All those visitors of us who have already bought a ticket will receive an email shortly with some last-minute information about all the kinds like parking and whatever like normal things they want to know. And so they shouldn't be worried about anything. We're working really hard behind the curtains right now to make sure everything is just fit and finish at the time of the convention. So don't worry, you're going to hear from us soon. You're going to write it on our website as well. And everyone's in the team is really excited about the convention, and everything is looking really, really good right now. Everything is working. All people are there. Everything is working great. For example, we've got our DJ, H-Mage, and Thorner, who has just received their visas for the European Union. Everything has worked fine with them, and we're pretty happy. Everything seems to work very smoothly.
That's the kind of stuff I like to hear, that everything is not only going smoothly, but it's falling into place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we like to say. And experience. It's awesome.
Well, of course. All right, any last words?
It's going to be awesome.
We hope. We're working very hard too. But we think so.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, Desert Fox and Feyre of Galacon, hoping to see you guys there. Thank you very much for hopping on, taking 5 minutes to talk about Galacon.
No problem.
Okay.
Take care.
See you.
See you.
All right. Just wanted to. This was my idea, folks. I wanted to get a quick plug for Galacon, figuring why not? I figured doing it by Skype interview would be the best media. All right. Next question. Got a lot of just some odds and ends stuff to finish up here. This journal from, speaking of Galacon, goes out to all of the people who are going. Death Pony released a little journal of his stating where he will be and what he'll be selling. This little this DeviantArt journal. Quick things: he'll be at vendor number table number 29. He's got some of his pictures he's selling. He's selling buttons. He's selling stuff from his 3D printing thing, I guess, experience. But I will say this. We will be talking about that 3D printer of his here shortly. But for now, just take a look. If you're going there, say hi to him from me. If not, I think you might still be able to buy some of this stuff. I'm not sure, though. But contact him. He might have some. Anyway, say hi to Death Pony at Galacon for me. Sorcery, you mean? Yeah, that's true. Twilight is magic. And yeah, I agree with you on that too. Twilight is magic. I like that the good folks of Galacon cooperate with us so well. Anyway, last thing on the odds and ends bits, or at least just the miscellaneous other stuff. This one's just kind of an odd one and just kind of a shout out to our good friends at Discord's Domain. I'm not 100% sure about what is going on here, but what I do know is they are trying to, quote, help those guys to break the page. Every comment counts. On the Snowdrop premiere date one, they're trying to reach, I believe, and if Hyper is listening, correct me on this, they are trying to break 10,000 comments. Yeah, insert your over 9,000 comment line here. I know I did many times. Anyway, go there, leave a comment, even just something like comment will work. Better yet, do something like once upon a time, because then you can just kind of trickle it off. Anyway, go there, leave a comment, even as a guest, anything. Help them out. Give them a hand. Oh, one other thing I should do, just for the sake of everything. Since we had the folks of Galacon on, here is their website, everything you need to know if you're going there, All of it's on there. Just check it out if you're going, and if you're not going, still check it out. Maybe I'll give you an idea for next year. Bomb the page with spam. That's a good idea. All right. 2 last things concerning Brony State now. First one being, yes, we will be streaming Equestria Girls on September 1st, the day it airs. Quote, with Hub's announcement of showing EQG on September 1st, we will be planning on airing it live here on Brony State. So join us here at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 Eastern Standard Time, where we will stream it live directly from the Hub as it airs. Blah, 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 end quote. Here's the announcement. Now, as I said, it's on Sunday. Now, at the time of this, I'm just going to make this clear, folks. Babble with Bronies is still planning on streaming. Now, the staff and I have not talked. So there is still a possibility that we, Babble with Bronies, won't stream. Given the timing of everything, though, we should be able to just fine. Just as the line says, we will keep you informed here of any changes or updates, so will we, Babble with Bronies. So I'm just going to clear up those questions because I know that I know a lot of you are going to be out there going, oh God, is Babble with Bronies going to be streaming that day? Yeah, like I said, Sumica, given the timing, it just doesn't sound it. However, maybe something will come up in the future. I know it's, again, we'll get there when we get there. And finally in the news, just the Brony State movies. Saw that band there. I apologize, folks. The movies. For the A movie that is this week, that would be the 26th and the 27th of July. We have the A movie Megamind, followed by Feeling Pinky Keen for the Pony 1. The B movie is K-On! The Movie, and Pony 2 is Luna Eclipse. So hope to see you all here Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's Greenwich Mean Time -5. And for the encore on Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That is also Greenwich Mean Time -5. Just kind of reading the... Yeah, just kind of getting a quick glance at the chat here, folks. And that does it for news, announcements, and other oddities. In the meantime, let me get a quick check to see who is here. But I will ask you guys right now, art or music first? Very funny, Tox. Well, given Tox is the only one here that I am aware of that is not only here, but has art to do, or something, so I'm seeing a unanimous siding of art. So, well, except for Matt's, but alright. Let's do art first. I'm going to do one before I get to you, Tox. And I think I'm going to do this. Oh, he is here. Never mind. There is another here. Excellent. Let's go with this one by our good friend Alasso, titled I'm a Wizard. Now, I'm just kind of reading the... sorry, get my ugly mug out of there. Just reading the comments really quickly. Yeah, I saw this one, and this one, if I didn't have an agreement with him, I would have added this one right away. And, yeah, check the background there, by the way. I want you guys to look at the background, and I'll reveal why I'm pointing you there shortly. By the way, there's a link. All right. That's her Star Swirl Bearded hat, Matt. Yeah, this one, I just could not handle the cute. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering who's in the background there, quote, commission gift ordered by Sleep to Fade, that's of Discord's domain, for Twilight is Magic. Commissioner's note, that's not Shining Armor. I won't say who that is unless this person wishes to reveal his or herself. All right. Yeah, okay, since he is. Yes, that is Twilight is Magic's Pony Sona back there. Starbright. Creeping around. All right. Now we will get to talks. Yeah, hello.
It's me. Yeah, me.
All right, I'm bringing yours up now. This one's titled Bon Bon Appetite, folks.
I love that comic. Oh my God.
We all do. For those of you who haven't seen it, there's some text in here. It's only Derpy that speaks. Do you want to take it, or should I?
You can take it if you want. It's
okay.
fine.
Oh, by the way, I'm just going to say that was an easy muffin.
Oh, people were complaining, oh, that's too hard, so I gave them an easy muffin, but the one I put on the next one, good luck trying to find that one.
Noted. Alright, I'm going to go through the comic really quickly.
Yes.
By the way, these are some really interesting poses you have them in.
I drew these at work, so I got to experiment a little bit more.
Nice.
The second and third panels were really fun. And that was a really interesting background choice I chose. Like I said, every single background you see there is all done like by hand differently.
Oh, did you want some too?
I'm popping bubble. Oh my God.
Wah, wah, wah. I love that. I love the punchline of this.
It's kind of funny that many sites didn't take this comic, so I was quite surprised.
Why do you think that?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
Well, that's a shame, because I love this one. Yeah,
right?
As Matt's pointing out, the expression is awesome. I love the backgrounds in this one. Why the backgrounds, though? I mean, you could have done simpler.
Because I couldn't think of doing an indoor background with this one. I decided just to move it into an outdoor one, and I really haven't done an outdoor background in, oh good God, several months.
Oh, really?
So that was the first time I tackled an outdoor background, and that was actually a very unique outdoor background because the only reference that I had to basically go off of was a top-down view of right before they say bad scene, before she goes off the cliff and stuff like that, there's a pan back shot that I used to get just a top down view, and just the only thing I had to go off of was the bridge, and I decided to make everything else all on my own.
Well, it's pretty darn impressive for what it's worth, then.
I know. But it was hard, but that was about a 6-day comic that I did. That was a long time. It shouldn't have taken that as long as it did, but look at how many different backgrounds there are.
How many panels, for crying out loud? This is what, 6?
6? Well, that's not very big compared to a big comic, but
well, no,
the amount of detail that I put into an effort was a lot.
But it's just that it's not only the detail, but the number of panels. So you have to put that much more into it.
Oh yeah. That's the more annoying thing about this. The only thing that I did like about this, I know some people say that it's an easy muffin to find, but there was a spot that I was going to hide it. That would have been really comical. I was actually going to put it as Bonbon's cutie mark with opacity at really, 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 really low, like 1%. If anybody were to find it in there, I'd be very impressed.
Oh, dude, that's just evil.
I know, right?
Not only for Bonbon's sake, but just for finding the bloody thing.
Oh god, no, but yeah, that was it's a good comic, and I just uploaded a new picture, so that you'll see that one like next week.
Any last minute comments or last words?
Trying to think here. No, I can't think of anything. I was going to say, like, if anybody wanted to see any more Derpy and Spitfire comics, the two of them, like I used to do, I'd be happy to do more if people want those again.
Do it. I love those.
I haven't done one of those in well over 6 months, I think, and I had plenty to do.
Well, then, just perfect time to start it back up.
I should.
Oh, since I can't resist a good plug, are you going to be streaming anytime soon?
Tonight, yes. I'll be streaming the next 5 days. I'll be working on DBZ Spike.
Hear that, folks? Go to his stream. I will be there.
As usual.
As usual, yes. All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Tox.
Yes, no problem. I'll chill in the chat now.
Sounds like a wiener.
Yep. Thanks.
Later, man.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Toxic Mario. Let's see. I did. Okay, good. I'm not kidding. I'll be there. All right. I believe I have covered everyone who is in chat. Let me just take a quick peek once more. And I sure do hope she shows up. That would be awesome. Darn it, Muffinshire, where are you? Mind you, I don't have anything of his this week, but... Oh, he is here. Good. Alright. Now, let us carry on, folks. I have 2 of these by a guy known as Saturn Space, who is in chat here. And this first one I put in a long time ago, but I never got a word back. Yeah, Tox? Oh, she is here. Excellent. But anyway, this is the Clockwise's Guide to Ponyville. Like I said, I didn't get this one because I never got back from Saturn Space. But that is to be corrected. Take a look at this, folks. This one is just insane. The scope of it is what's especially impressive. I know I keep saying that about these come on. I keep saying that about these where they do an entire scope or an entire landscape of something, but I love the detailing behind this. The detailing, and something worth noting, folks, Quote, there are 42 ponies in this picture, including K9 and Spike in Discord. Enjoy a full view of Clockwise Hooves' version of Ponyville in an old RPG style, since I always wanted to draw in that style. Smoker Batman. But let me get you guys that link. Yeah, Saturn Space, do you have anything to say about this? Mr. Ben. Okay, okay. Alright, and last from Saturn Space, this one is the Planet Tom Menace. Yes, you heard me right, Planet Tom Menace. Quote, a concept of Inky Pie from my Clockwise Hooves blog. He has a link to the blog there. Has a link to his Tumblr blog in the description. Inspired by a costume of Padme Amidala, always have fun. There is the link, and yeah, all one word, Planet Tom. Planetom. Then her. What caught me with this one was, first of all, again, not as much as the previous one, but with this one it was, in some sense, the scope of things. I've seen this kind of picture before, where it's like a star child or a ruler of a galaxy kind of thing, and I always love these just because they always incorporate it so wonderfully. Matt the Shadow Man. The attire of this, yeah, I agree with you, Twilight is Magic. This is something fierce of good. This is something wonderfully done. Saturn, you were crafting something out of this. You weren't drawing, you were crafting. This is insane. Mr. Ben. We did that a week or two ago. Don't you remember that? Showdown at Tartaros? Again, but okay, I see what you mean. You wanted a movie, Mr. Ben. Okay. All right. It's been that way for a while, Otakon. Anyway, let us then move on. Okay, let's do this one. I always save her for last, and let's do her for first or earlier. This one is titled Andrea Libman Galacon Autograph Card by Pixel Kitties. First of all, I will state that suit Fluttershy is wearing, there's a standalone piece she put out earlier in the week with just that image, but I figured it's in here. There's also one of Pinky in that outfit there, but I'm gonna just I figured just show this one. If you want to look it up later, go ahead. Anyway, quote, yada yada yada. The lovely and kind and oh so talented Andrea Libman, English voice of Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, will be signing this at Galacon in 2 weeks. Hooray! You can get one by stopping by her table and having her sign one for you, or you can stop by my table at BronyCon and pick one up. Be happy to sign it, but that's less an autograph and more of a crime against art. End quote. Right, that's a good point, Matt the Shadow Man. But Slater. So I mostly wanted to bring this one up mostly for that very reason. It was just to bring bring the notion to your attention that you can get Andreas signed at Galacon, or the fact that Pixel Kitties is going to BronyCon. I don't know if you wanted. I don't know. I figured I would just bring that to your guys' attention. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Take a quick peek again. I swear I just can't keep track of everyone who is here, and I hate to save someone who is here for last when it comes to them being here. That's just rude. So let me get one last quick. All right. I'm going to pretend that everyone who is here. So let's move on. This next one is by someone we haven't had on here in a while, but I'm glad he's kind of gotten back to this, or I'm glad he is back in here. This one is titled "Circumvent the Problem Better" by Yakovlev Vad. Yeah, insert your anything related to Skyrim right now, folks. But I'm not going to go there. And I'm not going there, Matt the Shadow Man. Anyway, normally I hate gray overtones because they just seek to depress me, and I get really sick and tired of that on a day-by-day basis. But in this sense, I think it works because it's, first of all, it's mostly cloudy in the picture, and second, it's, old-timeish. So, and that's one of the few exceptions I can give where a gray overtone works. And yeah, let's be honest here, Fluttershy with that helmet on is adorable. Dova Shy in the house. I've always loved his detailing. It's basically, it looks like high quality show style, and I've always loved that. And the gearing he's put on here is also very impressive. Well, of course, Michael, you think, oh boy, I'm going to get this. Nope, sorry. What a rip. We'll get there when we get there, Matt the Shadow Man, but I don't have anything of that today. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, let's get his stuff done with. These next three are by Death Pony. And this first one's titled Lots of Work. Quote, it's not all that easy to brighten up the day for all the ponies as it might seem, but it's worth the effort. A download will be available at Galacon. I'm just going to kind of let this one speak for itself. But what I will say about this is I personally love the contrast on the right side of the picture versus the left side of the picture. That was smart. That was very smart on your behalf, Death Pony. And you guys wonder why Pinky is my favorite. Actually, we will be getting to that when we get a little bit later into the show. Alright, moving on. Now these next two are more just kind of advertisements and noting that what you might find at Galacon, because he's going to Galacon, folks, and this is thumbs up. Quote, Never mind. Howdy, Rec. By the way, happy birthday. How'd you know, Nittany? Anyway, if I recall right, this is a print he'll be selling at BronyCon. As a matter of fact, if I vaguely remember seeing it in that journal I just posted earlier. And speaking of that, we'll be getting back to that in a second here. But this is one of the prints you can find at GalaCon of his. So, again, say hi to him when you get there, from me. And finally, remember that 3D printer I was telling you guys about? Well, looks like some pony rediscovered the Muir Pond. Some ponies. These are all his, like I said earlier, all of these are 3D prints that he has done. I don't think he's selling them, but he is, I'm sorry. Quote, grab one at GalaCon. So yes, if you want one of these folks, go ahead and buy them from him at GalaCon. Something worth noting is take a look in the back. That is the GalaCon mascot in the very back there, and I don't know if he's giving that. I don't know if he's giving those away, giving that only one away to them, or if he's selling them, selling the GalaCon mascot as well. Talk to him about that one because I don't know. But Dark Enigma. So yeah, if you guys ever get your hands on a 3D printer or know someone who does, you can have these. But since most of us don't, given that's a new and emerging science, I recommend just ordering them from Death Pony if you can get them. Alright, let us move on. So far we have had no dropped frames. I know I just jinxed us, but hey, I'm happy. Alright. Let's do with this one. This one is titled The Siege of the Cockatrices by Quizzical Kisses. And there it is. Z Buffer. Anyway, I saw this one, I think it was on Equestria Daily's Draw Friend or Discord Domain's Artsy Wartsy. Either way, I saw this on the front. It was the title image, and I just said, that's going on. Without a doubt, this picture is going on. Quote, this piece is based on the MLP digital comic, which I have not read, but a friend of mine showed me some pages, based on the story arc Nightmarity, I think. There's a bit where Celestia tells the mighty and epic tale of the siege of Canterlot by the evil cockatrices, where she and Spike drove them off with trident and horn and nothing but grit and a metric ton of friendship. End quote. He also goes on to say that this was done with he was adding his own kind of flavor to it, like the dragon shoulder pad and the fact that he's riding a dragon Spike. So some of it is his own flavor, but most of it is based upon what he read and saw. And then, much like Buff Spike from episode 19, I saw this one and I just said, I got to put it on, not only just because I got to put this one on though, just because it's serious and it is awesome. As you guys have been pointing out here, the high detail is exquisite. It is something to look at. Something to look at and appreciate. Zoom in on this one when you guys get the chance and you'll see what I mean. The details he put into this are exquisite, to say the least. And a little technical difficulty really irritated me. Okay, these next three are by Citra, our good friend Citra, and I think I'm going to show them all at once because they are, if you pardon this, they are of the same, they're roughly of the same thing. They are Octavia button, vinyl scratch button, and Lyra button. I'm going to start with the Octavia button here. Quote, new buttons from icons, focusing on a few of the background characters, end quote. All three of these are buttons he's been making, or at least will make, and be selling at the conventions he's going to. I know he's going to BronyCon, and other than that, let's just get into the specifics on this one. Something I will point out about this Octavia one in particular. This is going on a button. A button. As in, you pin it to your shirt. Now, if it sounds like I'm being condescending, I'm not. This is a great image. This is a fantastic image. To put this on a button tells me that you can put a lot on buttons nowadays. Yeah, most of what I see on buttons, folks, are just some mom's kids or some line, but they're usually not of great quality. So to see something like this that has great quality put on a button says either I haven't been seeing enough buttons lately, or he's found a very good way of making high detailed buttons. Either way, I'm impressed. Let's check out the vinyl scratch button. This one I'm agreed, Matt the Shadow Man. Now this one I want to give a kudos to the lighting, especially the glow sticks in her horn. I know I've probably touched on Citra being really good at light, but yeah, this is one of those cases where this is another one of those cases of really good lighting on his behalf. And finally, the Lyra button. Now this one's a little bit simpler, but I love this one. I think if I had to buy one, this would be the one I buy. First of all, yeah, that silly foam finger. And second, if you can see the little detailing by her right hoof, you'll that's a little bonbon. Agreed. Take care, Dark Enigma. Alright, let me get you the links. Octavia, Vinyl, and Lyra. Matt, the Shadow Man. All I can think of are baseball games myself. Alright. Let's go with these two. These next two are by Joey Darkmeat. This first one titled An Honest Question. And you say the special ingredient is love, right? For the last time. Quote, Chrissy is awesome and all, but god dang is it hard to draw her well. I feel terribly subpar lately. That wasn't supposed to be quoted. End quote. This one I just laugh at because as a commenter pointed out, Naive Chrysalis is adorable. Give a second or two for everyone to peek over it. Ah, that's good water. Matt, that is a terrible pun. Alright. Let us move on. And the next one is titled Nap Time. Quote, nobody likes a troublemaker. Remember that old comic I once showed where it was the soldier from Team Fortress 2 watching over the CMC? Well, this is kind of a continuation of it. Here we have Apple Bloom asleep in his helmet, Sweetie Belle asleep in his arms. Oh, and by the way, the juice box for the grenade slots. That's cute. Really, I like that. And Scootaloo. Not a chance, Sergeant Doofus. The soldier saying, you know the rules. A little deep there. My apologies, folks. I posted it? Good. Alright. Now this one, actually I'm going to go with this one next. This next one I'm just going to kind of, I'm going to tell you the artist, but I'm going to show it and you guys are going to know right away. This one is by Paradigm Pizza. Titled BronyCon Poster Reorganized Chaos. Quote, that's right, I redrew one of my most popular drawings, Organized Chaos, as a poster for BronyCon. End quote. I saw this one in my inbox and I'm like, oh geez, I've got to, this is another one that I have to put on the show. Just some things worth noting. Whoop. University of Chaos is still signed by Loki and Dionysus. The mug now reads, I put the Q in Q. And the filing cabinets say F through M, E through H, and by the Grapes of Concord. Paradigm, I'm going to just say this right now. You struck a golden idea with this whole organized chaos bit. And to redo it, even better. Something else worth noting, the employee of the Infinity was that picture was swapped. It was originally Twilight, but now it's Fluttershy. Matt the Shadow Man. Alright, let us move on then. Still got quite a few. Yeah, we're going to be running a little over on the first hour. Like I said, that first technical difficulty did not do us any favors. This next one is titled One Touch by Anti-Ender. It's been a while since we've seen him on here, and boy, do I kind of miss him. Quote, just a little experiment with colors. I hope you like it. End quote. The thing that caught me first about this one were the hooves. He did a completely different. He did a new style with the hooves, and I like them. I don't hate it. Like I said before, I don't hate it when people do take their own little twist on the pony form, and this is one of those cases where I think it's a great move. As it makes of G4 with older gens, it kind of does Matt the Shadow Man, but he does a good job of striking a good balance between a different form and a Smoker Batman. He did a good job of striking not only a different form, but kind of preserving the original form. That's what I'm trying to say. Very good use of light, very good use of colors. I do like how bright and vibrant this one is. I like a good picture that can strike a good vibrancy. All right. 2 artists left. These next 2 are by Rubalgun, titled Don't Worry, Trust Me. No description available. I love the green overtone, kind of the green overtone color with this one. And I also like the very, the scary look to it. It's like, kind of thing. I love that. Very good job with the coloring on the tail and the crevasse that the pony is jumping out of. Yeah, no kidding, Twilight is magic. Alright, let us move on. This next one is Time to Smile. Kind of in the same vein as the last one, that's why I moved on rather quickly. And unfortunately I don't speak Russian, so I can't translate that for you. And no, I wasn't smart enough to use Google Translate beforehand. What I do like about this one is the fact that, by the way, there's a link. What I do love about this one is, I like the background in this one. The rather twilighty or just before dawn sky, combined with that town that's lit up back there. It was a good attention to detail. That's the thing that I love so much about this bit here. The evil looking pony here in the front, is that supposed to be a smooth speed? Anyway, I'm curious who this pony's supposed to be. Is he supposed to be some kind of vampire pony hybrid or just menacing looking? I suppose it's it's up for debate. And finally, these next 2 are by Mickey Monster. This one titled Magical Mystery Goof Up. You guys probably saw this one in the early in the week, but here we go. Oh no, I've switched my friend's cutie marks. They're destinies. By mistake. Everything has gone bonkers. Nothing as it should be. How do I even... And I didn't even have to raise a claw. And finally, Discord Oopsies. And no, I am not going to sing this one, or say it, for various reasons. But, quote, friend request from someone. Discord accidentally turning Pinkie Pie into a loud metalhead. I saw this one and I'm just like, yes, just all of this, yes. And if you want how I would do this, just search something like Smile, Smile, Smile Heavy Metal or something, because again, I'm not gonna make your ears bleed twice. So go search it on YouTube if you want it. However, this one, something worth noting is I really like how he did Pinkie's hair and all that stuff on this one. I think she could actually pull that off in the show. if it could get past many things, one of them just being, for lack of a better term, censorship. But hey, I'm all for this look, actually. And with that, we end with the art. I did put it in. So, folks, you ready for some songs? Now, this first one, I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to tell you who sang it. Actually, no, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to play it. And I just want you to listen for a little bit. I'll give the proper... I will give the proper credit and link at the end. But for this one, I just want you guys to listen.
This day is going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I dreamed since I was small. Every pony will gather round, say I look lovely in my gown. What they don't know is that I have ruled them all. This day was going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I've dreamed since I was small. But instead of having cake with all my friends to celebrate my wedding bells, they may not ring for me at all. I could care less about the dress, I won't partake in any cake. Vows, well, I'll be lying when I say that through any kind of weather I'll want us to be together. The truth is I don't care for him at all. No, I do not love the groom. In my heart there is no room, but I still want him to be all mine. We must escape before it's too late, find a way to save the day. Hope I'll be lying if I say I don't fear that I may lose him to one who wants to use him. I care for love and cherish him each day. For I also love the groom, all my thoughts he does consume. Oh, shining armor, I'll be there very soon. Finally the moment has arrived for me to be one lucky bride. Oh, the wedding we won't make, he'll end up marrying a fake. Shining armor will be mine, all mine.
Before I go on, folks, the reason I wanted to hide everything was because I wanted you guys to think that I was just showing the original recording, that I was just grabbing it and thinking, what? And have you guys go, why is Everlasting Joy just saying, or just showing us This Day aria again? Well, that's when I heard this song, I thought, wow, this is, for a cover, this is really good. This is really good for what it's worth. The artist is Kendra Masonchuk. She's a professional. I did a little snooped around on her personal website there. Turns out she's actually a professional stage singer and actress, I want to say, as in thespian, theater, that stuff. I believe I saw her sitting in the audience here to as far as I know. But that's just, yeah, I realize that in Nittany Discord that there are some points that stick out, but for what it's worth, I thought for a cover, this was really a really good cover. So, like I said, the reason I decided to hide everything was so that people would go, again, why are you showing us this? And then I'd reveal that it's a cover, and you guys would go, no way. No way. So it backfired a little bit. Oh well. She is here. Howdy, Kendra. All right. By the way, do you have anything to add to this, Ms. Kendra? Yeah, I do realize that Nittany Discord, but bloody Firefox. That good point, J.E. Smith. Sorry you had to wait for so long, but 'tis the nature of the beast. You're most welcome. And now you can probably see why we do this, why such a site and such a thing exists. No, we're still here, Bill Gates. Like I said, I'm just leaving the audience on this one. I don't feel there's a need for me to be babbling here while you guys are trying to focus on speaking to Ms. Kendra here, and that's perfectly fine. Well, yeah, but Matt, that goes without saying, Matt the Shadow Man. Alright, let's finish up the videos here, folks. But, feel free to keep talking. I am going to play this, though, from by our good friend Carbon Maestro, titled Fire and Ice, Derpy and Carrot Top's Epic. Ladies and gentlemen, Fire and Ice, Derpy and Carrot Top's Epic by Carbon Maestro. Well, that's true, Mr. Benton, but obviously to some varying degree. But that's another story entirely. Anyway, that does it. Let's just check. Yeah, that does it for content, folks. So let's move into the second hour, shall we? So as I said, this episode we were going to talk about your story. You know, how you got in here, what made you stay, and all that fun jazz. Just let me make things perfectly clear here. Most of these questions I'm going to be asking are personal, and as such, I will state you don't have to answer them if you do not wish to. I do because I follow the notion of a leader leads by example, not by force. As such, all these questions I have personally answered. But I'm more interested not in my story, of course. I'm more interested in your guys' story. So why don't we start at the beginning? How did you guys get into the fandom? Yeah, I'm going to be, also I should note, I'm going to be very generous with the time because of because this is going to take, text and walls and that fun jazz. So, like I said, take your time. Like I said, I want to hear. Well, go ahead, J.E. Smith. Like I said, get detailed, tell me the long story. I want to read that. We'll get to that too, Dream or Die, because there will be a question towards the end, or at least I have planned for the end anyway, that we'll be discussing. That's perfectly fine, Matt the Shadow Man. Like I said, I don't expect to expect everyone to participate is foolish on my behalf. Was that you I was talking to? Michael. Perfectly fine, Matt the Shadow Man. Like I said, I'm being very generous with time here, so go nuts. I wouldn't call it scary in so much as fascinating, Dream or Die. But I can see where your scary comes from, but I don't think fear is the appropriate emotion to have here. That's just me. Catchy. Hyper dude, man. Shizu. Where have I heard that before, Michael? The pink horrors of yore. I love the wording there, Twilight is magic. Venher. So what made you stay, Twilight Sprinkle? I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but I'm curious with your answer there. No, that's fine. Like I said, as you can see, Matt, there's going to be walls. There will be walls of text here, but it balances itself out. Much like, quick sentences, they obviously, they fade fast, but these walls, people have to, these walls balance themselves out. Shizu. All right, Mr. Krabs. That's all I can think of with your line there. They won't leave me, Shizu. Fair enough, Twilight Sprinkle. Knit. Yeah, again, tell your story, Knit. I don't. So long as it's not, you know, not something horrendously inappropriate. Okay, then yeah, go ahead, Nittany. That'd be about the time, Twilight. Fair enough, yo. I'm not going to bring that up, Nittany, but I'll take your word for it. Hyper. Yeah. Yeah, Nit. I appreciate that, J.E. Smith. Or at least, I appreciate that if I'm one of those people. Matt the Shadow Man. I don't think any of us do, Hyper Dude, man. I don't think any of us do. Well, maybe Shizu, since she just said what she said, but I don't know. Sleep is for the weak, Chrysalis. You know that. That's an interesting point, Twilight Sprinkle. And I know we probably covered that before, or will cover it again, but yeah, certainly. I don't want to talk about it. I'm noticing a common theme here of skepticism and curiosity. And trust me, when I tell you mine in a few minutes, it's no different. Mr. Ben. Night, Michael. I'm sure I've told this maybe to one or two other people before, but okay, I'll tell you my story now. If it's clean chrysalis, but I'm not going to show it. Anyway, much like a lot of you guys, my story begins much like yours with some skepticism and curiosity. But mine mixes in a little bit of hate. And I'll get to that what I mean here in a second. Way back in about the start of 2010, of course, when the show started taking off, or not the start of 2010, start of 2011, I'm sorry. Around that time, I was, anyone who knows me knows how much of an internet junkie I am. Especially if you keep track of my Skype, the amount of time I spend on Skype. I search all over the internet, you know, you name it, I've probably been there. And at the time, of course, I had very little idea of what, I knew what My Little Pony was, but I never had any idea of FIM. And I started seeing images everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Facebook, Cheeseburger Network. Yeah, that one was kind of odd. Where else do I go? Where did I go at the time? Kind of a little of everywhere. Kind of wherever anyone pointed me, anywhere I looked at. But there was always, especially on forums, there were always someone with an avatar of a pony. There were images of ponies on image boards, forums, blogs, vlogs. I couldn't go anywhere without seeing a pony, save for one site, and I will get back to that one site. But I am not kidding when I say I could not escape them. I didn't care. I didn't, you know, if you wanted to like that, I was completely fine with that. But I was completely fine if you wanted to like My Little Pony. I didn't care. It was no skin off of my nose. But like I said, I couldn't escape it. Everywhere I went, I saw a pic, and it's like, really? This is a political website. A political website. What is that doing here? So I'm just kind of sitting there going, let's go away from this page so I can avoid the ponies. Good Lord, I don't need that kind of crap. Finally, that one website I was telling you about, that guy with the glasses, that was the one site that never had ponies on it. Mind you, I knew in the comments section of all the videos, and there was a forum post on it long time before, on it a long time ago, and for the longest time, heck, it's still one of the most active posts on that forum. But I never went to the forum, and I rarely read the comments, and most of them didn't even have avatars. So I never saw it. I went there, and it's like, the one place on the internet that doesn't have ponies. I kind of knew that one was only going to last as long as I could imagine. Well, September 13th rolled around, and a guy by the name of CR did a retrospective of generations 1, 2, and 3. Pinkie Pie in 5 seconds. I know that one, Ben-Hur. Anyway, CR, like I said, posted that one, a video of the retrospective of generations 1 through 3. And after I saw it, and it's like, oh, God, you're kidding me. The one site in the world that doesn't have ponies, or at least one of the major site contributors talking about it, is now talking about it. Or at least there's someone talking about it. I watched it just because I was partially curious, thinking maybe he's going to, maybe I'm going to, I'll watch this just because I wanted a validation that, yeah, when I think MLP, this is what I think, and I figured maybe he's covering the FIM, and that's what I thought at the time. Well, I watched the video, and it didn't have G4 on it, so I'm like, well, okay. But by the end of it, something happened. Something, I could just feel it way down in the pit of my stomach. I said, I'm now more curious about what makes G4 so good. I didn't know G4 at the time, but I want to know what makes this latest generation of ponies so good in comparison to what I just saw. So yeah, for the record, September 13th is the day I mark as the day I joined the fandom, despite what I'm going to tell you guys next. The next day I did a little research, just kind of snooping around, okay, what's so fantastic about this pony business? Just a little research here and there, read on Know Your Meme and other sites like that that discussed ponies. And then finally the next day I said, okay, I'm going to watch the first episode all the way through. I have to watch it all the way through, and after that, I can decide if I like it or not. So, I watched the first episode. Then I said, well, it's a two-parter. Might as well watch the second. So I watched the second. And by the end of that, I said, you know what? This is good. The characters were the big things that drew me in. I said to myself after watching the end of the second one, I want to watch where these characters go. I want to know how they develop. I want to know the journeys they go on. I want to know everything about them. So then the third episode came along, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and so on. This was just before season 2. I got through all of the seasons by about all of the I got through the first season probably in about, I want to say about a week. I did pace myself. I didn't want to take it all in and then forget about it. That was the thing. And well, the rest is history. Slater, I said the 13th. I said I joined on the 13th because it was that feeling of curiosity outweighing the annoyance. Still got about 20 minutes left, so it's a good thing I did do have some other questions. That's my story, folks. I know some of you were saying where you were starting, so I'll just ask everyone, if you haven't already, what episode did you start with? Like I said, I know some of you did. Some of you already said, but I'm just curious where some of you started. Thanks, Venher. J Malamute. Yeah, just to make it quick, I started with the first episode. Season 1, Episode 1, just kept going down the list. Slater. That is a good point, Matt the Shadow Man. Yet, of course, it begs this question. I guess it doesn't really beg much of a question, but it's an interesting point, is what I want to say. Stream should be back up shortly. Take care, Moonview. Okay, I'm going to propose Matt's question here. If this fan craze started in the 80s, how would that have panned out? Let me reread that question again. How big do you think this show would have been had it have been shown 20 years ago? It's a question worth asking, because there's a question that's worth asking. What is the longevity of this show? We'll stick to Finn here for what it's worth. Given the fact that we don't have the type of technology that we have, 20 years ago, 20 years ago, the technology we have now was but a fantasy. So, yeah, as J.E. Smith is pointing out, we have to take the internet out of the equation here. And if we take the internet out of the equation, or at all, Twilight is Magic. Exactly. People point out, people point out all of the evils that lurk on the internet. And while that is most certainly true, there is good that comes out of the internet. Because here's the funny thing. The internet is not inherently good or bad. The only thing that makes it good or bad is us. So then it begs this question. If we take the internet out of it, just how big would this have gotten? Well, Star Trek is proof that you can have, that a show long past its cancellation day can have a huge fan base. But then again, Star Trek was more for adults and, older people. Not, I'll say teenagers and above, but something like the 6 to 9-year-old, iffy. I'll just leave it at iffy for what it's worth. But my point I'm trying to make is that Star Trek is proof that fandoms can exist without the internet. They can have long staying power and they can have long lives outside of the show's original air date. But as I said, think about the people who are Trekkies. They are, let me rephrase that, the original Trekkies. These people are now in their 40s, 50s, even some 60-year-olds. And yeah, Sumika, that does bring up a good point too. But if you want to elaborate on that, go nuts. And I'll finish my point here too. That, like I said, you can have a large fan base without the internet, but that's, yeah, Mr. Ben is hitting the nail on the head there. Is, to what extent? Would it be the same MLP fans of the 80s? Would it be people like Tim and Venher and Matt and me? Maybe. I'd be willing to bet good money that a lot of the original Pony fans, of the 80s and whatnot, most of them by now are in their, late 20s, early 30s. And maybe even, obviously some older folks too, but you get what I mean. That most of them back then were kids, and they grew up with this. And yeah, there are older Gen Pony fans out there who don't like us, Twilight is Magic, for one reason or another. All I'll say is this. If you take the internet out of the equation here, folks, your fan base is going to be structured heavily different. Very different. That's a good point, Matt the Shadow Man. Obviously, that's a bit, that's subjective, but it is an interesting interpretation of things. And do you think that's maybe? I already know the answer to that, so I'm not even going to ask. And of course, you hope for how much. Well, okay. I did, Sumi. I knew of it. Like I said, I've seen it, or actually, I don't ever remember watching an entire episode of anything not G4 until I got to Brony State. But I saw the DVDs in store. I saw the promotions on TV for it and all that fun jazz. So yes, I was aware of it. By the way, hi Luna. But of course, Sumika, I know you're going to know this, but I'm saying this for everyone's sake. There's a difference between knowing a fandom, or even just a franchise in this regards, and being part of the franchise, being a fan. J.E. Smith. This is creating a lot of what ifs when we take the internet in and out of the picture. I'll get to your question here shortly, Matt the Shadow Man, but I'm just kind of watching Mr. Ben and Sumika's chat unfold here. See, this is actually one of the things that I'd always hoped that would happen one day, is I could just sit back and basically watch the show right itself. So you guys can't imagine how happy I am right now. You know what, folks? It's 5 o'clock, or by my clock, of course, 5 o'clock right now. In other words, we should probably be wrapping up here shortly. Obviously, I'm seeing a lot of people talking about a lot of things here, and to be quite frank, I'm more than tickled by that. Like I said earlier, you can't imagine how happy I am. Believe it or not, I've still got quite a bit of topics left to do, so we might just go ahead and pick this up. Yeah, the stream died. Fantastic. Anyway, J.E. Smith. Anyway, as I was saying, I think we're going to pick up. We will pick up this discussion a little bit later because, believe it or not, I still have quite a lot of stuff to discuss here. So we'll pick up another day. It's probably going to be the 4th in August, or whenever that first Sunday is anyway. And after that, I'm thinking of doing one of these. For those of you who weren't here, let me hit you, Tim. Done. Anyway, as I was saying, for those of you who weren't here, these were the notes I took when we, at the end of the Season 1 wrap-up. So these were just some of the topics you guys wanted to discuss. So after we get done with next week and the week after, I want to do one, at least one of these topics. But since we're going to pick this part up, since we're going to pick this episode up later, what we're going to do is do that episode, and then do at least one of these. So it's probably going to be towards the end of August before we get into season 2, which is just fine by me. I don't hate doing these discussion episodes because I like listening to your guys' stories. So, keep your subjects because we will be coming back to them. Next week, I'm looking at an interview, so bring your questions for our surprise guest. The week after that, like I said, doing this, and the week after that, another discussion. And then we'll probably be jumping into season 2. If not, we will go to some other, do one more discussion, and then we will be getting into season 2. So by the time we get through August, we will have at least started our season 2 episode review, folks. So that's a promise. Okay, you guys are there. Other than that, Actually, no, I take that back. There will be an interview in August for sure, but I'm hoping to start season 2 by then anyway. But we'll see. I haven't planned the later part of August out yet. So anyway, with that, let's wrap this up here, folks. For Babble with Bronies, I am Everlasting Joy. My co-workers, Mr. Ben and Twilight is Magic. We all want to thank you for coming, and I'm glad a lot of the new folks stuck around to listen, and a lot of the old veterans to tell their stories as well. Hope you come back. Hope you join us next time for when we do part 2 of this. Hope you join us next week for the interview, and until then, farewell. Yeah, the stream died. Fantastic. Anyway, J.E. Smith. Anyway, as I was saying, I think we're going to we will pick up this discussion a little bit later because, believe it or not, I still have quite a lot of stuff to discuss here. So we'll pick up another day. It's probably going to be the 4th in August, or whenever that first Sunday is anyway. And after that, I'm thinking of doing one of these. For those of you who weren't here, let me hit you, Tim. Done. Anyway, as I was saying, for those of you who weren't here, these were the notes I took when we, at the end of the Season 1 wrap-up. So these were just some of the topics you guys wanted to discuss. So after we get done with next week and the week after, I want to do at least one of these topics. But since we're going to pick this part up, since we're going to pick this episode up later, what we're going to do is do that episode and then do at least one of these. So it's probably going to be towards the end of August before we get into season 2, which is just fine by me. I don't hate doing these discussion episodes because I like listening to your guys' stories. So, keep your subjects because we will be coming back to them. Next week, I'm looking at an interview, so bring your questions for our surprise guest. The week after that, like I said, doing this, and the week after that, another discussion. And then then we'll probably be jumping into Season 2. If not, we will go to some other, do one more discussion, and then we will be getting into Season 2. So by the time we get through August, we will have at least started our Season 2 episode review, folks. So that's a promise. Okay, you guys are there. Other than that, actually, no, I take that back. There will be an interview in August for sure, but I'm hoping to start Season 2 by then anyway. But we'll see. I haven't planned the later part of August out yet. So anyway, with that, let's wrap this up here, folks. For Babble with Bronies, I am Everlasting Joy. My co-workers, Mr. Ben and Twilight is Magic. We all want to thank you for coming, and I'm glad a lot of the new folks stuck around to listen, and a lot of the old veterans to tell their stories as well. Hope you come back. Hope you join us next time for when we do part 2 of this. Hope you join us next week for the interview, and until then, farewell.